does. I guess, hey.
Hello.
How are you doing?
How art thou?
We missed you.
Friends and companions.
I made a mistake last week that I need to confront.
You fucking criminal. God damn, you should stand trial at the Nuremberg.
I know.
Asshole. Jesus.
I didn't hit record on the camcorder last week. Therefore, we couldn't send it to our editor. I had to edit it myself. This episode came out last week, obviously, for you guys now. And I got it all edited. I just used our logo as the background. And then all of a sudden I realized I uploaded it at like 2 a.m. this morning. And I saw it was almost 40 minutes longer than what it was originally in the editing. And I click on it, I go to the end, and it's just 40 minutes of dark screen, silence. And for that I want to say, I'm sorry if I wasted your time.
Sorry, everybody.
We all make mistakes. We're here now. We're recording for you. So,
as we've said in the previous podcast, we're going to continue to make mistakes forever. I mean, hopefully the whole system and the whole everything, the structure of everything itself turns out better. But even as we go on, we're still going to make mistakes with our speech and with the ideas and things that we're presenting. It's going to happen. And my take on it is, it's the 40 minutes thing that kind of sucks. Sorry, but I mean, at least you'll know, you know. What I mean? So just skip past that.
It won't go for a week though.
yeah, true. But either way, I mean, you know, when you hit a dead silence in the video, I always skip ahead. You know,
just to see if there's something secret in there and shit like that.
Exactly. So you'll figure it out. So fuck that. And then the whole video thing, shit happens, man. And on top of that, the way that I was telling you, I kind of like it more that way. It'll be like a secret episode for our real fans that actually want to go through and listen to one instead of having to watch it. Because, I mean, I don't know. I haven't actually looked at the settings if people are completely watching these all the way through. I'm sure they're not. Cause
I'm sure a couple are, but probably not the majority of people who have subbed to us yet.
Exactly.
But I don't expect my friends and family to like go in there and watch every single one.
No, man, who the fuck has time? Even I've finally hit the point where I'm not even watching the full videos, and I was like die hard to watch every single video because I was so nervous, and even now I'm like watching 5 minutes and then just dipping out on it. So I understand. I do it on every fucking podcast that I watch. You know what I mean? Skip through the shit. I don't give a fuck. It works. It's cool. But yeah, I think it is cool though because it was a really good podcast that we did, and we can't. What we said at the end is we couldn't fake that again. We couldn't redo the podcast. It was such a good fucking, at least an audio podcast. It was so amazing, and we couldn't fucking fake that. So I think it's a beautiful hidden gem that you know our true fans will stumble upon hopefully at some point in time.
But you know, I saw I had a couple views, but then again. Well, we uploaded last week, didn't get as many, but, you know, that's the way of the process.
And still makes me happy, because like I said last time, I'm glad to see low views instead of high views.
Like, even if it's just family, it's cool, like, friends or family, it's cool to just see them, like, still behind us, supporting us, you know what I mean?
Exactly, that's the love. So, that's pure love right there. I mean, no matter how...
And, you know, you don't expect to know everything about people's lives, so they're, you know, aside from work or being family, you don't know what the hell is going on in someone's life.
Oh God,
I don't have the time to watch every fucking episode.
Exactly, yeah, at any point. And that's a good fucking thing to bring up in general for going about your daily life as it is. You never know what the fuck somebody's going through. Like, of course, I'm just as hot-headed and easily pissed off as anybody else, so it's not hard for some random ass person to fucking say just the right thing and get me fucking going and get that maliciousness out, you know what I mean? And it's all pent up and you've been wanting to get it out, and they seem to be the perfect fucking target, so you get, you know, slowly possessed by anger in that particular moment in time, but you don't know what the fuck's going on in that person's life, so what's the point? And you know,
I always try to think about that at work, but then it's like...
It's hard. It's hard.
God, working with the general public sucks.
And don't get me wrong, there's a point of understanding, and then there's a point when you're pushing it, and it's like, fuck you, you're just a straight asshole. It doesn't matter what's going on in your life, you're just a straight asshole.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's levels of it, but... Yeah, I catch myself in that as well. And sometimes it comes out towards the people that don't even deserve it, which is the worst part when you get built up like that. But it happens to everybody. It's, you know, human, honestly.
It's human nature.
Exactly. What gets me is being at work. It gets me because, like, I'm not going to say what I do for work, but it's a fast-paced environment, you know. We're constantly moving. It's all about time and getting everything done as fast as possible. And it gets fucking annoying sometimes, and it gets stressful when you have to do, like, 2 or 3 different things at the same time and you're trying to get there. And then, you know, you got this person bitching about this person bitching about this, and this person bitching about this, and then everything fucking builds up. And sometimes you fucking snap, man. I try my best not to, but again, you know, we're human just like anybody else, and shit like that happens. But I apologize to anybody I'm doing up to. I even said before this started, we don't apologize about nothing. Fuck anybody out there. We're not intentionally doing anything wrong. We admit when we're ignorant. We admit when we're wrong, but we're not going to apologize for it. But I apologize about everything. I'm a very apologetic person. I don't know why. I want to apologize for all the bad things that have happened in people's lives, even though it's not my fault.
I get that. I really do. You want to be the overcaring person, but it's like sometimes you just can't be that person.
You cannot be that person because you will drive yourself fucking mad.
And sometimes you'll drive the other fucking person crazy too.
Absolutely.
Being that person, it's like, you know, it's like when you're flirting when you're in high school or middle school. It's like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, if something bad happened to the person you're flirting to, it's like, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. And it's like, that must be bad. And it's like, they don't need you to respond. They just need you to listen.
Yep, exactly.
And, like, no one asked for my teenage-ass opinion on a subject. And, you know, I was just over there like, oh, I'm so sorry that happened to you. Here's how I can relate to that. And it's like, teenagers tend to make it about themselves when they're trying to listen to someone. Exactly. And I still catch myself doing that.
I was just going to say, even aside from like trying to flirt with somebody or anything like that, but just being an emotional support in any sense. For me, I've always had that problem. My way of listening is relating to your story with my own stories, you know what I mean, in a sense. And it is a very, how would I put it, immature way, I guess, of relating to somebody on that level. But
and that's why I try to like always just offer minimal advice and just try to listen as much as I can. I try to do that, but I still catch myself trying to relate more than try to help.
Exactly. Yeah. But then again, that's just because, you know, we're not all trained therapists. Not everybody's going to be completely adamantly correct about how they're helping you through you know, your experience. But it is what it is. But yeah, it's funny you bring that up because I do that a lot. I try my hardest not to, but I have such a fucking array of experience to pick through. It's like, okay, I understand what you're going through. This is why I understand what you're going through. It's not like I'm just sitting here acting like I understand what you're going through, so you have somebody to fucking like bitch to, and you know you think I'm just some how do I say it? Some mere reflecting back on you. It's like, no, I'm actually like honestly have some core experience that I can actually relate to the experience, which to me brings a level of understanding, you know what I mean, that you wouldn't have from just that emotionalist mirror that's, you know, spitting back to you what you want to hear.
Exactly.
Which is what I try to do, but I don't know, I'm not very good at listening to people anyways. I try, I really do try, but I'm not very good at listening to people. I tend to laugh when I'm not supposed to. You know that especially.
Yeah, I do too.
It's a bad habit of mine. I hate it, especially when I see people crying. And then I instantly have to like either look the other way or take a deep breath because I want to laugh so hard. It's such a bad thing. And like even part of me knows, like, dude, you're a piece of shit. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? But
when you're at like a funeral and all you can think of is that one joke you heard a couple years ago, and it's like,
it's so hard.
You're just like in the middle of the Catholic Church, like. It's so good.
The worst part is when like literally nothing's funny and you're not even thinking about a joke, but you just are just like the absurdity of the scene and the seriousness is just like you don't know how to react.
It's almost
to
like
it.
you're going crazy.
It is, yeah. That's a good way of putting it, actually. Huh? I didn't think about it like that.
Because it's like your way of processing it. It's like too much.
That's true, and that's how I process my emotions too, is by laughing at everything. I've always been that way. No matter what it is. I mean, you know this. I guess our fans don't know this. Our viewers don't know this.
How you guys doing?
How y'all doing, boys, girls, everything in between? Love y'all. Everybody's beautiful. It's been a week.
Alright.
No, not really.
I feel that. I feel that.
But no, you know this.
There I
story.
go, relating myself to your problems.
Yeah, exactly. Relating everything back, yeah. Yeah, there we go. That works.
God damn it.
But no, you guys don't know this. I broke my wrist at, what was that, 8th grade? 9th grade? 9th grade, I think.
That was like 10 or 11th grade.
Oh, you're probably right. Yeah, you are right, because that was right. No, we'd have been in 10th grade because I was going to go to prom. Yeah, so we would have been in 10th grade. And we were playing soccer. Were you even? Yeah, you were in the gym class, weren't you? Or did I see you in the hallway? Is what it was.
You saw me in the hallway. I was going to the bathroom to get out of fucking algebra class.
That's what it was.
I saw you walking in from where they like had the soccer field and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw you just like laughing but crying, holding your fucking arm.
I was not crying. I remember that detail.
You're sweating from your eyes.
Yeah, well, that was the one thing is when the whole thing. I guess I need to go back. So what it was we were all playing a game of just soccer in gym. It was just a regular bullshit game that you play, and I love fucking soccer. I've never played soccer on a team like I've played football and track and everything on a team. I've never played soccer on a team.
Was it soccer or was it ultimate frisbee?
No, soccer.
Was it soccer?
Yeah, it was soccer. Yeah, and we were split up on our teams and everything. And this was, I'm pretty sure, the year that Cody came to our school. I can say his name because that's a basic ass name. Nobody's gonna know who that is. Either way,
it was that year or the year before.
Exactly, because he was still relatively new, and so we're both, me and this kid Cody. This kid Cody is twice my size, especially at this time. Cody was still a big boy, you know what I mean? And we're both running right at the soccer ball, coming from each ends, and we're both like about equal distance. I'm a bit faster than him, and he's a little bit slower, but he's got a lot more inertia than what I've got going on, a lot more momentum. And I'm sitting here thinking in my head, all right, I'm gonna bounce off of him like I've done running at my brother 1,000,000 times, you know what I mean, or in football 1,000,000 times. I'm just gonna put it up and just bounce off of him. This kid fucking trucked into me. Little fucking, let's see, 10th grade, 140-pound me, I don't know, 150-pound me. I was a little.
Fuck, you were probably even that.
Probably, yeah, something. I don't know what I was. Either way, he was twice my size, and, I knew it instantly. I closed my eyes because I felt it. I sat there and I breathed for a second, and I thought I was going to pass out for a minute, and then instantly I looked up and I started laughing because I was like, I had that moment of realization that I had too much pride to cry in front of the class. Couldn't do it. Like, it just something so inhumane in me rose up and it was like, thou shalt not cry in front of other people. Like, I had too much pride. I was one of them fucking, like, as I was raised to be like a manly man, you never talk about anything that's bothering you or anything that hurt you or anything like that. So I started laughing. I was like, I think my wrist is broke. It was the stupidest fucking thing ever. I wish I could see video of it.
I wish I had a video of it.
I know, honestly, it'd be hilarious.
Fuck yeah, it would be. That'd be great.
And then Grace walked me into the office, and that was about the time that I'd seen you, or I was in the office, and we went to go and get my shit or something.
She walked you in. I swear I saw you like just coming into the doors alone, and then I offered to like walk with you to get all your shit for school.
Maybe she walked me to the door and went back. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I do remember I was like walking through the hallways for a minute because I was like, oh, it's so funny, and I wanted to show it off to everybody. And then we walked around, and it was so stupid.
Brought you into my class because I wanted to tell her I was going to walk with you.
Yeah, exactly. It was so fucking stupid, but anyways, the whole not moral, but the point of the story is that's how I cope with everything, is by laughing at the situation, no matter if it's the most traumatic and terrible thing happening or if it's something absolutely ridiculous. I have to laugh.
I've never broken a bone except for my teeth.
Yeah, that's even crazier though, because most people haven't broken teeth. That is nuts. You should tell that story.
So, okay. I was being a dumb kid, right? And, this is when I was 7, back in the early 2000s when life was a little bit more calm. And I see, like, the shitty part of this joke now. I really do. I know I'm saying that for like few people who will watch this episode. But
we'll have millions down the line.
Yeah, we'll be fine. They'll cancel me for something else.
Yeah.
But, so, my cousin was over. I was about 7 years old, right? And, you know, he came over like every other weekend for what seemed like a couple of years. It might have been shorter than that. When you're a kid, time seems to go so much slower,
True.
you know.
True.
That's that nostalgia kicking in.
Mm-hmm.
But, so he came over every other weekend, I think, starting on Friday, ending on Sunday. But
Y'all still tight?
no, I haven't spoken to him in a while.
Oh, no, okay.
But anyway, he was like, we were in the living room playing video games, and I had one of my airsoft guns, right? Little Glock, like a little Glock airsoft gun. And a spring action, luckily, not CO2. Luckily, not CO2.
That'd have been bad.
So my cousin's telling, you know, a stupid fucking joke, or at least a joke I thought was stupid. I can't even remember it. I fucking put the airsoft gun in my fucking mouth and pulled the trigger to express how bad of a joke it was.
Oh my god, that was so dumb.
And dude, I swear to God, I've been dry firing that fucker the entire time. Not a single beep came out. But it was the fact that I fucking put it in my fucking mouth and pulled the fucking trigger. There was a fucking BB in there. They must have gotten loose from the inside and fucking hit the back of my throat, reflected off my tongue, bounced around in my mouth, and broke my fucking front tooth here.
Oh, damn, I'd have been pissed.
Oh, dude, my dad was fucking mad.
Oh my god, I can imagine.
And the sad part is I understood gun safety. Like, I still understand gun safety. But, like, for some reason, in the heat of that moment, I was just like, you know what? This would be funny as fuck. I didn't intentionally blow my tooth out. I thought it was empty, and I thought I also didn't cock it yet. But little fucking 7-year-old me with an airsoft gun, man.
Just fucking being a stupid kid. Yeah, everybody's got those stories.
And then I fucking broke the same tooth, I think it was the same tooth, on a fucking school quesadilla that was like rock fucking hard on the crust. It was like still frozen, and I bit into it and it snapped that fucker.
That's a perfect representation of Centerville's food, though. Or whatever school we went to.
Yeah. Alex, if you can censor shit.
Yeah, if not, I'm not worried.
Yeah, fuck it.
Either way, though, yeah, that is hilarious. That's a fucking crazy ass story. Thankfully, I can say I haven't broken any teeth yet.
Yeah.
I've broken 2 bones, but no teeth. Yeah.
Nice.
So we're the opposite.
Yeah.
Actually, that is.
I mean, I guess technically teeth are bones. But
yeah.
there's a difference between this bone and these bones, obviously.
Yeah.
But
uncovered bones.
Dude, I had to wait wasn't sure if it was, sorry for covering my face, I just can't remember if it was a week or earlier that I had to wait to get that tooth fixed.
Oh wow, damn.
So you know how hard it was with the fucking uncovered nerve on the front tooth?
That would suck. Even just breathing, that would suck so,
it was horrible. I had to breathe through I mean, I know you're supposed to breathe through your nose, but I didn't as a kid. I was a little fucking mouth breather.
Yep, same, honestly. I still am. Yeah. My nose gets plugged and I have to.
Yeah.
I hate it, honestly.
I'm happy for the age of masks. Then that way I can just walk around with my mouth dangling open like a fucking idiot.
That's a good point. That is a really good point. I just hate it at work, because when I'm working and I get all sweaty and shit.
Oh, yeah.
That's annoying.
That would be horrible.
But yeah.
I think I have a deviated septum. I want to go get that checked out too.
Makes sense, yeah. That'd be a good idea.
But, yeah, the moral of that story is don't put a fucking airsoft gun in your mouth and pull the fucking trigger.
Or any guns.
Yeah,
or any guns.
Yeah.
Don't put.
I should have specified that one.
Even a Nerf gun. Just don't do it.
Yeah, those little springs are getting fucking powerful in them bitches. I don't know if they could necessarily break bone, but I wouldn't try it.
I'd seen some. I don't know if it's true or not, but I've seen there's either a new company or maybe just a solo guy, but he's making like insanely powerful Nerf guns. Which is so fucking cool. Like they're like 2-3 times as powerful as what a regular Nerf gun is.
God, it's gonna sting like a paintball.
Oh, that'd be so much fun. We should go paintballing. I've never been. I've done it like at home with some bullshit setups and everything, but I've never been paintballing though.
I have a story now.
Oh God, let's hear it.
Since we're just banking off ideas for this pretty much. So when I was a kid, for Christmas, this is probably when I was like 10 or 11 years old, right? My mom and dad, I don't know who bought this, or, whatever. My parents, or a parent, got me...
Somebody.
Yeah, somebody got me a paintball gun for Christmas. So, either that or my birthday. And, we went and got the CO2 filled, and I got this fucking paper thin ass fucking paintball armor, bro.
Mm-mm.
And I put that shit on and I told my dad to shoot me with it from the deck.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, that's dumb.
And that was like maybe 30 yards away from the deck, right? And he was standing on top of it, and he fucking fired it and hit me right in the fucking sternum. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
You learned your lesson.
Dude, it still makes me breathe hard when I think about getting hit with that.
Fuck that.
Like, I feel the pressure that almost caved my fucking ribcage. And it was at like 450 psi or some shit like that.
Fuck that.
And I know for like seasoned paintballers, that's probably nothing. But for an 11-year-old that's never been, holy fuck.
Yeah, oh yeah, that'll fuck you up, damn right. I guess, I didn't even think about it. I hate to track off. And
You're good.
We literally talked about how we were relating experiences earlier, and we're literally both just going back and forth now. But I think it might be a good time to talk about my collapsed chest, actually, since you talked about collapsing yours. So I guess, a good place to check off from your story that you were telling is, how it felt like you were getting collapsed in your chest when you got shot with that bullet is something I've told you and we haven't shared with the audience yet. A story from my past, my origin story, if you will. As you guys all know, my name is Vladimir, and it's not a typical name that you run into in the United States or Michigan especially, or anywhere out in our area in the bumfuck nowhere of Michigan, but...
The most exotic we have over here is like...
Daryl.
Yeah. Bradley.
Yeah, Bradley. Yeah, Bradley and Chad,
Yeah.
So yeah, Vladimir's are quite atypical, and relating into the story, I myself actually have a collapsed chest. It's a story from when I was a child. As you can see, there's a giant hole.
I'll explore the nipples.
It makes it look like I have titas, but where that came from, what happened is, when I was 1.5 to 2 years old, I was living in Russia with my real parents. We're from Moscow, is where we're originally from, and it's really tough for me to say. It's hard for me to get it out for the fans and everybody, but my parents died in a car accident when I was a child. So I'd been in and out of orphanages as a child for a few different years, and then there was this program back in the day where the United States would ship over orphans and kids whose parents didn't want them and everything. And I'm sorry, I know it seems like I'm laughing and I'm smiling, but it's just how I cope with my emotions, as I said earlier. And so they shipped me over through this program to get orphans over to the United States, because it's better, and especially at the time that I was born, there was multiple crises going on in Russia, so they wanted to ship these kids over, and
I want to speak up a little bit.
it was my bad.
You're good.
I'm sorry.
You're good.
But when I got shipped over here, they shipped me to Detroit, where I'd lived for about 5 years. And I was about 7. Darius was sitting on the front porch, and he was highly involved in gang activity at this point in time. I don't know what gang, I don't get into all that, because after all this happened, I'm really emotionally traumatized from this whole thing, so I just don't know how to really think of it, conceive of it, but he'd gotten into some kind of beef with this rival gang, with some dude, I don't know what the fuck his name was now, I forgot, but he ended up going out to get my brother Darius, and so they decided what they're gonna do is do a drive-by like you see in the movies. It's not just movie shit, it's real. And my brother Darius got hit 3 times, took his life. One shot. One shot was all it took to get me. It was just a spraying bullet. The bullet went off in the wrong direction. They weren't supposed to do it. Their only target was Darius. That's all they wanted to get. But there was other casualties. Not casualties. I'm sorry. I'm losing my words. I'm getting all emotional. There was a stray bullet that went out and it got me too, and collapsed in my chest and everything. This is before I met my real parents, and when this whole thing started happening, there was brought national attention at this point in time. And is when my parents now, who I consider my parents, my real parents, they figured it out and they found out and they decided that they wanted to be the ones to adopt me and try and take care of me at this point in time. And so I met my parents now through this accident. So as traumatizing, as horrible as it was, the best situation came out of this terrible situation. And I'm so sorry to bring up such an emotionally devastating thing for the audience, but just the story you were telling me about the collapsing chest, I feel like I have to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta bring it up to the audience.
Yeah.
I gotta get it out. But I wanted everybody to know, rest in peace, Darius. And that's a bit of my backstory that I want everybody to know. And it's all bullshit.
You could probably tell.
Oh my god, that was so bad though. Let's leave all this in. That was so bad. Like, for everybody watching the video, there was so much editing that went into that. That was so hard to get through. It's probably not even going to turn out that good.
No.
I hope it does, because like I stumbled so much more on that than I normally do. Because when I normally tell this bullshit ass story, like, clearly Vladimir is not a common name in Michigan, so I can get away with telling the story. I tell the story so much, and I can tell it like fast and to the point, but it's hard doing it this way because we're laughing and like trying to get out the comical side of it, and then like trying to cover up my laughs and everything. I'm just emotional. You guys can obviously tell I'm a fucking idiot and that we're laughing. It's a fake bullshit story, but I don't know. We had to throw it in there. It was fucking stupid, but yeah. I've actually truthfully convinced so many people that I'm actually from Russia. And
My dad actually being one of them. I had to tell him that he was bullshitting this story after he left one day because he was like, "Oh, that poor kid."
Which is why I feel like shit when I tell it. So I immediately, most of the time, tell people afterwards like it's bullshit.
It's so good though.
I can honestly tell it better most of the time, but this is the first time I've done it like this, and it was so hard. Like it was 10 times funnier. Just
it was
between
so
the
good.
two. I'm sorry, Alex. I'm sure that was a nightmare. Forgive us. But yeah, I don't even know where to go from that. That took up a lot of time. I'm sorry, everybody, but that wasn't even that funny, probably.
So Alex. Tell me how much you hate me after.
Oh my god, and me too. I'm sorry. I guarantee it's not even going to be funny. I'm going to be so disappointed when I watch that, but...
I think Alex is going to get a kick out of it, just seeing us fucking die of laughter the first time you tried.
True, that's what matters too, honestly. Just the amount of fun that we had shooting that was worth you not even seeing it be funny on the video, honestly.
We're so sorry, Alex, but we hope you've got a kick out of that. That was gold.
That was fun. Either way, regardless if it actually turns out good or funny or not, it was fun to do, so that's what matters. So yeah, everybody, have fun. Chase your dreams. Do what you want to do. It's better to do something bad than to do nothing at all.
Yeah, I just can't believe my dad bought that story when you first told him.
I know.
I was like, come on, bro. You're an adult and you believe this story.
Oh my god, I know. Well, I can be a good liar when I need to.
Yeah, that was good, though. When you told him, that was when I had my most serious face on about it, because I was just like, oh, this motherfucker. And I can't believe he actually fell for it.
Yeah,
it was so good.
I can't believe it when people do too, because when I worked at the coffee shop, I got a few people there, and I'd be telling them, and like I said, normally I can rattle it off, and I'm faster, and it's a little more convincing. It's so hard doing it this way, though. Yeah. I could not look at you. Like, go back and watch it. It's so hard. There was a couple glances, and then I would have to, like, do one of the fake laugh emotion things. It was so fucking stupid. Anyways, let's move on. That was a bad bit. But that was so fucking funny. That was fun to do.
That killed me the first time. Subject, I wanted to get into what happens when you're getting talked to by a salesman and you just don't want the product, but you feel bad for telling them because they're spending all that time. I know they're getting paid too. But like, okay, so I was at the shoe store a couple weeks ago. I needed new work boots, right? So it's weird going in from your amazing backstory to me buying shoes last week.
That is great for the podcast. That's exactly what we're all about.
Exactly. So, I'm in there like, I'm not going to say where I went just because I don't want to give the company a bad name. This was just me not, wanting to tell the sales lady no. And I felt, she was just talking me into these shoes, man. Like, I needed just a straight up pair of work boots for, where I work, just on concrete all day or on tile all day, doesn't really same thing really.
Mm.
But just on it all day, and I needed just a simple, good pair of work shoes or work boots because I like boots more than shoes. I'm weird like that.
Understandable.
But so I get into the shoe place, and they're like, "Oh, we'll send our sales lady over." You know, it's this like 60, 70-year-old woman. I'm probably overshooting her age like a motherfucker, and if for some reason you're watching this, I apologize.
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
Hi.
But either way, just cute little old lady.
Yeah, cute little old lady. But yep, she came over. She knew her shit about boots too.
Damn.
Like she was telling me like everything about this specific shoe. She probably only does sell this one shoe. That's probably why she's so good.
Yeah,
at it.
exactly. Yeah, knows everything. Founded the company.
Yeah. And you know, she was the lady that you don't see this a lot in shoe stores anymore. They'll like tie those shoes for you. They'll fit into your feet.
Nice. I love that. That's nostalgic. Yeah.
So I'm walking around and she's explaining that they're hiker boots. And I'm just like, oh yeah, these are pretty cool. And she was, just wouldn't stop talking. That's how you be a salesperson. You don't let anyone else talk in that situation. I'm giving her props for that. She's a good saleswoman.
Exactly.
But
persuasive.
Yes, this is how you have to learn to say no because, like, they're a good pair of boots, but not for work. You know what I mean? And it's, like the same with a lot of shit. Like, you go to GameStop and you're getting this Xbox or PlayStation, whatever you want. Although that's really a bad place to start. But like, you're just going in there to search for games and they're just trying to sell you like the game that they have the most stock of so they can fucking get rid of them. Although it doesn't really matter because GameStop breaks all their shit and throws it in the dumpster if they don't sell it.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
I know a lot of stores do that too. And McDonald's and shit like that. It's fucked up.
Yeah, we do it too. Where I work.
It's bullshit. But I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're good. That's really most of the story. But yeah, she sold me these pair of hiker boots. And I work at a grocery store.
I'll get into it here in just a second. We'll flip back. So did she actually convince you on the shoes though? Aside from work, like aside from your passive aggression, did she like actually sell you on the shoes though? That's what I'm interested in.
Yeah, she sold me on the shoes.
Oh, that's cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But they're not. I don't hike, so I have no use for hiker boots.
Yeah.
Like they're good, like boots, quality. I think they're Merle boots. I don't even know what fucking type of boot I bought.
I don't either.
This is some sales lady shit. She pulled some like witchcraft on me. Yeah.
She got you.
Yeah, she fucking got me in her fucking little shoe sales spell. Like,
She's an MK Ultra agent.
Probably.
But yeah, I guess just a little side dip real quick, because I still want to get back into shoes, actually. We can further progress this, but we're talking about dead bodies and decaying, and of course that sparks something
we're going
in my
into
mind.
the macabre.
Yeah, well, just a touch. It's actually, it's nothing that's not well known. A lot of people already know about this, but I've just recently gone back and watched a video on the, what would you call it? The body farms in Tennessee.
Body farms.
You know of that? Yeah.
Is that where they send the donated bodies to science?
Exactly,
Oh,
yes.
okay.
And they said they have a collection of over 700 bodies now, which is so cool.
Wow.
But
I'd love
yeah.
to go observe.
Oh, dude, me too. I'd love to see it.
Can you imagine the smell?
No. But it'd be cool. It'd be worth it.
Oh yeah,
Just-
but I'd bring a respirator.
Oh
in a fucking
yeah.
heartbeat.
Oh yeah.
You
Yeah.
have to.
Definitely. Yeah. Just in the name of science, that'd be awesome. But
Yeah.
I figured we'd bring it up. I guess. Obviously, we'll know about it, but maybe people in the audience don't know about it. Look it up. Look up the body farms. The biggest one's in Tennessee. That's where it actually started at. Can't think of his name, but one of the professors down there started it. He had the idea, and then he literally just started it. And since then, there's multiple body farms now. But that's the biggest one. And, they continue to receive donations all the time. Essentially, what the point of it is seeing how bodies decay. They can use it for crime scenes. If there's a particular way that this body was left and they needed to see how long it was sitting there rotting before the maggots got there. They've got tests with putting tarps over the body because when a body's laying in the sun, the maggots don't like being in the sun, so they go underneath the flesh, and then that leaves just like a corpse of flesh and bone, and then the flesh turns into literal leather because, your skin turns into leather just like an animal hide would. So they got experiments on that to see how long it takes for maggots to come. Oh, I think that's actually originally how he had the idea, is because he was talking with some type of forensics person, and they were asking him how long it takes for the maggots to get there, and he's like, I honestly don't know. There's nothing in the literature. So he proposed the idea to the dean of the school, and he's like, well, yeah, let's try this out. And so now they come to him with all kinds of different, not even just him now, it's a whole study group, or a whole fucking, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know, section of that college. And so you got all these people doing this research, and they'll come to him with requests of this particular body was laying here, and you know it was gray and it had maggots, or it was left in this trailer, and this was the exact environment and things that were going on. They've got all kinds of different ways of like testing it, and they've got burying bodies, and they've got these tubes that go through the body, so as the body decays, they can test what elements come out, what compounds come out of the body as it decays, which is actually really cool too.
Yeah.
And then they have multiple bodies for that test to see, okay, is it still expelling the same compounds after 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, or is it different compounds at this point in time? Either way, it's really interesting, really cool. Just had to kind of throw that out there since you brought up that.
Yeah, and I saw a post like that. I think I saw a Tumblr screenshot on Facebook, you know, because no one social media can stay on its own social media site.
Of course not.
So, you know, a Tumblr post on Facebook, and it was talking about how someone the poster knew donated their body to science, and most people thought that, you know, donate body to science, it goes to a lab and it just gets dissected. They study, like, you know, just random bullshit about your body and shit like that.
Which does happen too.
Yeah, it does happen, but you just don't think about the forensic experiments that are going on, like you were talking about, where, you know, you have a body and you lay it in a field and see how long it takes to decay, how long it takes the maggots to eat it, you know, all that shit. And I think it's something like a lot of people should know when they are making a request to donate their body to science. Know more what they're getting into.
Very true.
And I'm sure people who do want to donate have done that research, but maybe us talking about it makes someone else want to help in that research when they die.
Yeah,
if they even need it.
Exactly. Which it's interesting either way. And like you were saying, they were mentioning, now that I think about it, actually particular people like that had lost a family member in an unsolved case or something that wanted to donate their bodies to go towards those conditions to see how, or you know, how long they were there, whatever, you know, certain ways of figuring out how they decomposed in the way that they did, which is interesting as well. And I'm not trying to stay in this realm. We stumbled upon it, and now we keep going back and forth, and you're reminding me of things, and you know, I'm reminding you of things. We'll get back to shoes, but right now we're into dead bodies. And,
how the turnstable.
Yeah. I'm sure you've seen it. It was one of those random posts that come up on Facebook, and you never know if it's true or not, so you got to look it up and see if it's true.
Yeah.
But the fact that, I believe it was Benjamin Franklin that had a shit ton of dead bodies underneath of his house, and everybody, or dead remains, and everybody's like, where the fuck did this come from? Was Benjamin Franklin?
Frank Gacy.
Yeah, Ben Frank Gacy, exactly. He's some kind of serial killer, but he was just studying
decomposition and shit like that.
Yeah, well, what's the word? Anatomy.
Oh, okay.
Like dissecting the body and, you know, going through all that stuff. And I believe, well, I guess I wouldn't say the first. I'm too ignorant to say it. I haven't read about it in a long time, but I wouldn't say, definitely not the first person to dissect bodies and go through them, but Leonardo da Vinci also was very interested, and he would go through to the morgues, local morgues, and get bodies that they would allow him to go through and dissect. And he would map out the anatomy and everything and draw pictures of it, which Da Vinci was a fucking phenomenal human being. He was in literally everything from anatomy to like every walk of science to fucking what am I thinking? Aerodynamics and the fucking flying crafts and everything like that. An absolute genius. But now we can bridge back into fucking shoes. So, I don't know, you want to start that one? Or you want me to hit it, or?
My story's pretty much ended on that. If you want to talk about your little Nas shoes.
Yeah. I can honestly say I love the shoe. I don't like the song, personally. It's just not my style. I didn't like Old Town Road. I know you said you liked Old Town Road. I didn't really like it that much.
I liked it until they overplayed it.
Yeah, I get that. I guess I did like it the first time I heard it. I was like, oh, look at the horses in black. You know what I mean? Like, oh, but
it was a meme song.
It was a meme song, exactly. And even this one's really just a meme song, honestly.
Not even the song itself, more or less just the imagery used in the song, I think.
That's a great way of putting it.
But I do like his stance on the music video. You know, it's not my job to shield your children. That's your job, and I'm an artist. So
exactly.
he makes a good point when he says that.
That's even a deeper topic that we can branch into here in a second. Well, yeah, we'll hit it in a second.
Yeah.
But the shoes themselves, though, I think are really fucking cool. Aside from the song, yeah, I mean, obviously, depending on how you look at it, yeah, they're morbid shoes. You know, they got the satanic imagery, and then they got the drop of blood, which is. Personally, when I heard that, I was like, that's cool as fuck. Especially when I found out, because what it is the shoe is based on an Air Max 97, which we talked about this. I didn't personally like them when I'd first seen them. I thought they were so ugly, but then as my taste developed in shoes and I started getting more into shoes, then I was like, I can see why people like them. I don't have a pair yet, but I do want to get a pair. But it's based off of that. And it's got the red and black color scheme, which I love. I've always liked that. I love it on cars. One of my second good pair of shoes I had was red and black. I just love it.
Red and black just works with everything.
It does. It works with so much. And it's like almost on a deeper level, a part of me because of Vlad the Impaler's red and black. That imagery is always used. I love it. But I thought it was cool as fuck because on the Air Max 97 they got the air bubble in there. And the company that released the shoes had gotten famous because they'd released another one called a Jesus shoe, which is the same thing, Air Max 97 model, but they had injected water from the Jordan River into them, and then they had like some kind of Christian symbolism on them. I'm sure they had crosses and whatnot on them as well. And they released that. They didn't get in trouble for that, but they're getting in trouble for this one. But instead of doing the water, they did 60 cc's of red ink and then a drop of human blood, which is so cool. I mean, I guess I can understand why people wouldn't want that. And in some ways, I get it. Like, yeah, you don't want it leaking out, but who the fuck cares? I think that's cool.
Yeah, that'd be fucking dope.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I personally think they're so cool. They sold 666 pairs, and they sold out under a minute, which is fucking insane. $1,018 a piece, and they also have Luke 10:18 on there, which is the phrase in the Bible that says something like Lucifer fell from the sky like a bolt of lightning or something like that, or felt like lightning or something like that. But they're overall really cool shoes. I think they're awesome.
Yeah, if I was a rich boy, I probably would have bought a pair, honestly.
Yep, same.
You know, if they didn't sell out in under a minute.
Exactly, yeah, which is fucking crazy. But that's how most hype or shoes or anything like that goes, which is stupid as fuck, I think. But adds to the effect, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so.
But yeah, what are we going to check into after that? I guess we can touch on the music topic as well. Because this one's difficult. How do I put it? I don't know, I'll play devil's advocate on both sides, because I don't quite know where I fall, to be honest. You know, I've always had the same outlook, and I would say I do lean more towards that side of it's not, how do I say it, we're putting out our art, it's not our fault if your kids get it, that's your fault, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And I get that. But then again, I seen a post from Joyner Lucas that made good sense, where he was like, he was commenting, or he tweeted at Lil Nas X or something. He's like, how are you going to say that, you know, it's like the parents' fault, or how are you going to say that you're not injecting this to the kids when you literally accepted a Nickelodeon Kids Award? And it's like, you know what I mean? Like, he's got a point. Like, you accepted a Kids' Choice Award, and then you're saying that it's not their fault when all these kids subscribe to you. You probably based off of that reason in itself, and then you're saying that it's not in the parents' fault. It's like, you know what I mean? It's a tough issue.
But here's the difference. You can tell he made that song for a younger audience. Like, you know, there was none of that imagery. It was him being a rhinestone cowboy, and did they even have a music video for that?
I don't know.
I can't even remember either. At least in the Doritos commercial, that's what he had on. It was like a pink costume or some shit like that. You know, more power to you. You're an artist.
No, but pink's my favorite color.
Yeah, but so there is an obvious difference in a song that was made for kids in a song that was made for adults.
Exactly.
And that's why, like, you know, YouTube has age monetization, but if you don't have, like, a kid's account set up on YouTube and shit like that.
And that's what you should definitely at that point have it. And that was the point that he was making that caught my attention, was the fact of, like, yeah, those kids obviously would have subscribed to him at that point, so they would still be getting that. But yeah, as long as you have...
Because they were expecting more songs like Old Town Road.
Exactly. But as long as you have the actual features on there where you're not having the fucking... You have the restricted age users on there, then yeah, it shouldn't be a problem. But then again, you know, there's obviously... has been a reoccurring thing this whole year with... Or maybe it was even last year that WAP came out, wasn't it? I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. Because we were playing like Call of Duty talking about it, I think.
True. And see, that was a huge ordeal. But I mean, this is nothing new. This goes back into Marilyn Manson, which we've been listening. This goes back into Elvis Presley shaking his leg on TV. You know what I mean? Like, and now Elvis is the absolute opposite of what you think of when you think of rebellious music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Graphic imagery.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, yeah, this fucking dude with slick back hair is just air thrusting.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, like a little twist of the knee compared to fucking Cardi B at the Grammys, like.
Yeah, wear masks for a year and a half so we can get this fucking COVID shit down and dusted. And there's Cardi B and two other fucking singers I don't know the fucking names of.
I don't know.
And, you know, up there.
Exactly. But it does, and like I said, I do kind of fall more along the lines of don't just, you know, not necessarily you being a bad parent if your kids come into that, but, you know, you should be monitoring what your kids are taking in.
Exactly. And if you have a problem with it, but you're letting them watch it, like, that's something. But if you don't have a problem with it and you're letting them watch it, then I guess more power to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Because, you know, when I was a kid, I was watching movies like Tropic Thunder.
I was watching Devil's Rejects
Dude,
when I was like 5.
Fucking Devil's Rejects.
Yeah, like when I was a kid.
I was watching Family Guy.
Yeah, Family Guy.
Robot Chicken when I was like 5, bro.
I've learned so much shit from Family Guy and South Park. So much shit. It just...
South Park actually teaches you lessons, though.
They do, they do. I learned today, but that's, you know, the other thing that I balance out in my head, too, is it's like, you know little girls look up to Cardi B. You know for a fact that little girls look up to Cardi B. I hear people younger than me listening to that shit, and it's like, it's a tough issue. You know, it really is a tough issue, because it's like, she should be able to put out whatever the fuck she wants. She's an artist. It's not her fault that she's that famous. You know what I mean? So it's like, you gotta balance out how you look at the issue realistically. You just gotta have a good head. You have to be able to understand, but it permeates people's minds unconsciously is the problem.
It's definitely made for the older audience. And, you know, I say that when, you know, like I said, I was a kid listening to fucking Eminem talking about killing his wife and shit like that.
I haven't even drug you out, well, it's to say, into the woods yet to paint the forest.
But it's just like, I don't know. I find it really weird how that feels okay to me when I was a kid, but watching Cardi B make out with like 2 other girls during the Grammys, that seems like over the edge for me. And, you know, a lot of people will like try to call me sexist for that, but it's like, Eminem actually didn't, I mean, maybe he did as a concert as like a gag stunt, but like he never dragged anyone out on stage and killed them.
Exactly.
So it's just song lyrics.
See, to me, it's the line of, you can tell Eminem's being hyperbolic, and then Cardi B's literally shaking her ass and rubbing her pussy in front of fucking...
Kind of like Lord on South Park.
Perfect. And again, maybe we're ignorant. Maybe we're not looking at this right. Please comment down and tell us what the fuck you think. Tell us why we're wrong. I'd love to know. I really would.
Teach us.
And obviously, as you can tell right now, I don't even know what my thoughts are on this issue. I'm trying to figure it out. I don't know.
It's like I said, it's just hard because, you know, we're turning into the older generation. It's like, oh, my style of music was better than today's style of music.
I never felt that way because I'd always listen to old music.
Yeah.
But I know what you're saying. I know exactly what you're saying, though. Yeah. We had that, like, Marilyn Manson, Eminem type shit, so I know what you mean.
You know, when I was younger, I was into Guns N' Roses and shit like that. I was into AC/DC, even though I look back on it today, be like, yeah, that was the classic shit. But I can't listen to it anymore.
Really?
It's overplayed.
Oh, AC/DC for sure. And who was the other
Guns N' Roses.
Yeah,
they can be overplayed too.
I can listen to Patience and Civil War.
Civil War is good. So fucking good.
Mr. Brownstone. That's about it.
It's like
Yeah. I know
one song I know by them probably by heart is still Paradise City.
Mm-mm.
It's so simple.
Yeah. Oh,
it's like
yeah.
4 lines.
Yeah. Take me down to Paradise City where the grass is green and the girls are pretty. Oh, won't you please take me home? Yeah. Oh my Lord. Yeah.
Sorry, people at home.
Yeah. But I know what you mean. You know, and pretty much any of the songs they play on the radio. At least around here, we got 107.7, and there's a few other channels, but 107 is like the staple. I don't know if that's same for you. I don't listen to radio anymore.
I don't either.
Yeah, I got Bluetooth, but
I'm still kind of old school. I listen to CDs. I don't have.
Oh, yeah.
I got lucky with my second vehicle. I had a Pandora fucking Bluetooth speaker, so I could just hook my phone up to it.
Nice.
I want to switch it out with my current car before I sell it, so that way I have that.
That'd be smart, yeah.
Yeah, but I need to get like a fucking setup system for it.
Both are nice too, though, because I like CDs also. I still have a CD collection.
That's one bad thing. It didn't come with a CD holder on that one. It was just Bluetooth.
That's a bitch, yeah.
But I liked it because after that I bought Spotify and I could play anything.
Yeah, I love Spotify so much. I've been sharing my play. I gotta share my playlist with you. I finally figured out how to do it. I'll give it to you. But yeah, so like anything played on the radio, on 107 especially, they play all the main hits, the classic rock hits, and there's few and far that I can still listen to. And like I said, it's fortunate that I don't listen to radio anymore because now I'm getting to the point I can listen to the songs that I enjoy but I know are overplayed. But there's still a few bands I can typically listen to over and over and over again. Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, Rolling Stones.
Yeah,
the big ones.
We're turning into our parents with our own music still.
Exactly.
Like you can say like, oh yeah, I still like the classic music, but you yourself are still taking today's music and listening to it more than the old music anymore. Well, I can't say for you, but I do.
Yeah,
I listen to a lot of the old, newer music more. There's a few oldies out there that I still like, but I'm in my age of music now.
I understand that. I'm the opposite. I've always been that way, though. I'm still into all the blues artists that I haven't discovered yet, and all the rock artists.
And there's good reason, but it's just like, you know, it's good reason because they're the pioneers of some of the best music we have today. If one of those bands wasn't an influence, who knows where like metal or pop would be at today? You know?
Oh yeah, definitely.
So.
And the way that I see it is like, well, actually, it's really convenient because I get, how would I say it? I get what's worth listening to out of the new stuff from you, so I don't have to search for it myself, which is nice because you're doing the searching. I get into new rap. I can find new good rap easily, but for me,
that's when I can't though.
Yeah, see, that's why it works.
Yeah.
That's why it balances.
It does. I don't look for rap a lot.
I got an ear for rap. I didn't think I would, but I actually really do, and I really like some new rap. But my thing with new rock is it's hard for me to find new rock that I like, and it's how would I say it? This is definitely a, I don't know how I would put it, uncommon opinion, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know, idiosyncratic opinion, I guess I would say, especially now. And it's funny, it's like the old heads all listen to what I listen to, but anybody that's younger and listens to rock music hates all the classics. They're not necessarily hates it, but they don't generally like it. They like the newer stuff, and it's because the way that I see it is there's two distinct sounds. What I'm personally attracted to is the older, not necessarily, I guess, dirtier. Like the recordings weren't necessarily as clean. The songs weren't perfect. That's the thing. It's weird to say that, but today's songs are perfect. They're perfectly lined up. They're perfectly structured, and I don't like that.
Yeah.
It's odd to say that because you would think that'd be better, but it's too much order.
I think I have a black metal band you'd like.
I'd like to listen to it. Yeah, definitely give me the name.
I would say because the way these fuckers recorded it, Mayhem for any metalheads out there. Mayhem's like the pioneers of black metal in Norway. They were the ones who started all the church burnings.
Oh, you have told me.
Like
Okay, yeah.
But the way they would record their music for CDs, they'd hang a single microphone and all be in the same room and play at the same time.
That's cool.
It
doesn't sound good?
I don't think so.
That's too bad. Well, even some of the old...
It sounds good for the idea behind it, you know what I mean? Like, I love the fact that they were just like, fuck it, one microphone, let's just record. But, I don't know, man, I'm not a fan of black metal.
Okay. And
Like,
I'm not too big enough into metal
Yeah.
where I can distinguish. I know I like thrash metal, but that's bad.
It's the one where it's basically, it all sounds like the singer's burning an acid. And the music just doesn't stop, it's all blast beats.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had to listen to it though.
Quite psychotic, and I'm not too into it.
Yeah.
I respect it, but I'm not into it. I don't respect church burnings.
Yeah,
I don't
Yeah, that's
respect
fucked
that.
up.
I'll joke about it, but I'm never serious.
And wasn't that the same one you were telling me they used like their dead friend as the cover art? Or
Yes.
some shit? Yeah, that's fucked
wasn't
up.
Dead Friend, it was their first singer, Dead. His name, I don't know his actual first name, but his nickname was Dead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And the lead singer went into the house, I think it was the band that was running, or if it was his own house, but he went into the top floor and he shot himself on his bed. And then the bassist, I believe, Euronymous? I think it was Euronymous. He found him, and he went to the store, bought a disposable camera, and took pictures of the body and used it as album art.
Damn.
And legend says that he took pieces of the brain or the skull and made necklaces for the entire band, but it was later thought to be just chicken bone.
Okay. Either way, that's fucked up.
And this band is where, you get the famous picture of the dude sitting in courtroom and he's just smiling at the camera. His name is Varg. And he, I believe he was the guitarist for the band at the time. And he killed Euronymous by stabbing him multiple times.
Oh, okay, I do remember you telling me that now. Yeah. Either way, they sound fucked up.
He had his own YouTube channel for a while.
Huh, why'd he stab him, do you know? Just wanted to?
God, because Euronymous wasn't in... He came off as being like this really satanic dude, the black metal has the droopy black and white face paint and shit. And, came off as this really satanic dude, the Varg. And as soon as Varg took the notch up and started burning churches down, Euronymous wasn't in on that. He was behind it for a while, but he never himself went and burned one, I believe, from what I remember. If you guys are curious, I'm not sure if it's still on Netflix or Hulu, but the movie is called Lords of Chaos, and it's about the band, and it's an amazing movie. It's fucked up. It's actually played by Macaulay Culkin's little brother.
I didn't know he had one.
The Home Alone kid?
Yeah,
it's Rory Culkin, and they look so much alike.
Didn't know. I didn't know he had a brother, honestly.
He was in Home Alone, actually. He was the little nerdy kid with glasses. That was his actual brother.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd have never known that. That's cool. Huh.
Yeah. So, it's a great movie. It's a fucked up story, but it's interesting.
Oh yeah, that's
crazy.
Yeah, I mean that's metal.
So yeah,
that's metal.
Varg, was mad that they weren't as satanic as they claimed, so he invited Euronymous to his place or some shit like that, and he stabbed him multiple times and killed him.
Yeah, that's fucked. That's fucked.
Got sentenced to prison, and then he got out. So many years later, I don't remember how long of a sentence he served. But
I will listen to it.
Yeah,
I don't want to watch that. You told me about it, and I always remember it because I think of Lords of Dogtown, which is another great movie, but. I'll remember it. I need to watch it.
I think about it because of, God, what was that other Chaos movie? I can't remember. But
Chaos, the Realms of Barbalo.
Maybe. I think it was one you were recommending me, but I can't remember what it was. It wasn't Lords of Dogtown. Maybe it was the movie I was thinking of, but it doesn't matter.
We'll brainstorm afterwards.
Yeah.
But going back, my thing, it's not like they were intentionally recording it shitty. It's just the materials they had at the time, and they didn't all necessarily.
They intentionally did it like that.
Yeah, of course. They
do intentionally do it like that. But for the other artists, you're right. They don't do it intentionally.
Exactly,
like
but that's what I'd like to listen to it just to see how that sounds. I'm sure it's not very good, and that's the same thing. Even these old bands, they didn't record it all on one like that. I'm sure some of them did, but I just like that gritty sound. Like if they made a mistake that way, it's like in jazz. We've talked about this before. It's not if you hit the wrong note that counts, or no, what is it? It's not if you hit the wrong note. What counts is the next note after that.
Yeah.
That makes it, and it's like that's perfect.
Which is a perfect representation of Santa Ana at Woodstock.
Oh, Santana. Yeah, okay. You got Inman having lost. Yeah, yes, for sure. For sure.
Motherfucker dropped acid before he was gonna play, and he fucking annihilated Woodstock.
Oh, he
with
killed
his
it.
guitar.
Yeah, he killed it, man. That shit was fucking awesome.
I love the story he tells, like how he was tripping so hard, he thought his guitar was a snake, so he was wrestling with it, and that's how he got that fucking amazing music out that day.
That's fucking crazy to think about, honestly. That's awesome, too, because Santana's still going strong to this day. Still fucking getting featured on songs and putting out music. And
he's a great artist.
He's amazing. But I am personally attracted to that sound. I don't know what it is. I guess the fact that they'll make mistakes that sometimes work and it sounds good. And like I said, there's just something. Maybe it's just because that's what my ear is tuned to. I'm tuned to that gritty blues, but I just don't like it when the songs are too clean, too perfect. Personally, and I have a problem. I guess it's not necessarily hypocritical, but it doesn't make sense for me to say it. It's almost redundant for me to say it because, you know, a lot of these songs were structured with 12-bar blues. They were very bluesy structured. And so of course they were similar. And but that's another one of my problems with newer rock as well, is that it all just sounds too much the same to me. It's like they're all trying to get that same sound, that same tone, and I'm not attracted to it personally.
It's weird because, you do get a lot of the same sound, but it's like when you hear a new song, it's like, wow, I've never heard something like this before. It's really weird how a lot of songs have that, but a lot of songs also have that, oh, wow, this sounds like 5 other songs I know. You know
exactly. And see, that the thing is that your ear is tuned to it. And I'm getting closer. I'm tuning more into it because of you, honestly. But I'm just not there yet.
Oh, I know.
Like my ear is tuned to be able to find new good rap songs, but I can't entirely. I know sometimes when I stumble across a rock song that's good, you know what I mean? Because sometimes you just know. It's like, okay, that band, they got it. Like, that's a fucking good song. But I have a thing, like, sometimes I'll hear a song and I instantly know I like it. Sometimes I have to listen to it 5-10 times and then I like it. That's how I am with most new rock. I have to listen to the song 5 to 10 times. And then I might catch something.
See, this whole thing is like exactly why I think Tool's first album is by far their best.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Because it was all recorded at a concert. And I love that story. Like, you know, you see the old picture, probably like Tool's first picture at that show. There was, I think Rage Against the Machine was playing that same show that day. And I think it was the 3rd or 4th song on the Opiate album. He says, hey, get that Bob Marley looking motherfucker out of here on the fucking CD, and then they get into the next song. He's talking about De La Rocha in Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah, that's so funny.
It's so cool. I love that little fact. It's like you would never know unless, you know, it was the internet with that one picture they had and got at that show.
Exactly, and it's even funnier too, because you'd actually introduced me to that album, because I was a big, I wouldn't say huge at that point, but I was a pretty big Tool fan at that point. You know, I knew all the later albums, the big albums, the big hits. Exactly. 10,000 Days.
Anima.
Those ones. And
it's like, wow, I can't think of this one.
But I was into all those, but I didn't have Spotify at that time, so I hadn't started going back and going through all the albums. And you started playing those for me, and I was like, oh, this is good shit. Those were ones I knew the first time I heard them, I liked them. And actually the first time that we were playing them, whoa, synchronicity. That leads us into our next thing. Cool as fuck. Anyways, we'll get into that. The first time that I actually had listened to those songs when you were playing them to me, was when we were in the line waiting at the Slipknot concert.
Really?
Yes! Crazy as fuck. Do you remember playing those, though, at that day?
I don't.
I perfectly remember you playing
That's
those
crazy.
songs. Yeah, because you were behind me. I was sitting up front. Or were you driving?
Yeah, I was driving.
Yeah, I don't know why I was thinking you were behind me. Yeah, I do remember you playing that, though.
I was playing a lot of Tool up the way.
Yeah, when we were waiting, and it's just funny. That was a great concert. It was really awesome. I know I've said it before, but it was perfect for my second concert for my taste in music.
I wish that wasn't the concert you went to, though.
Really?
For Slipknot's first.
Really? Yeah?
Yeah, because,
it was solid, though.
Yeah, Slipknot is good. Don't get me wrong, but that wasn't their best album.
Oh, okay,
that
I get
did
what you're
it,
saying. Yeah.
And you know, I sound like such a fucking metal elitist when I say that, but it's, you know, it's good. It's a good album. I'll give them that. But they said they were gonna make it, you know, bring it back to the old school album ways, and they missed the mark on that one.
Nowhere
by a fucking
near.
long shot.
Yeah, see, that's too bad. Me personally, I wasn't a big Slipknot fan at all. I knew none of their songs when we went there. I only know a few songs really from that album and a few older songs after I'd gotten into them after the concert. It wasn't even necessarily about the songs. It was just
the experience.
Yes, the whole thing in itself. Moshing for the first time.
If you wanted to talk experience, I wish we wouldn't have been late for it.
True.
Because we missed Gojira, and which, hold on a second. We missed Gojira and we missed Behemoth because we got there late.
Yeah.
And one thing I didn't know is the band Gojira, it didn't make sense until my coworkers said there was a movie of Godzilla called Gojira. Yeah, so basically Gojira's band name is Godzilla.
Never knew that.
Yeah.
That is cool. That is cool as
I don't know. I'm assuming that was intentional because they're a band about, you know, a bunch of mythology and monsters and shit like that, flying whales and shit.
Nice.
But yeah, they're a good band. I don't listen to them a lot, but yeah, they're good from what I've heard of them.
There is a festival coming up that I think we should go to.
Yeah.
Not that one in Wisconsin, but one in Grand Rapids.
Oh, really?
Metal concert.
Nice,
I think
nice.
it'd be cool as fuck. But yeah, I don't really know what the fuck we were getting at. Oh, Synchronicity, that's where we were leading into. Yeah. So have we talked about Synchronicity before?
I think we touched on it.
Okay, so we touched on it a little bit. I'll just give a brief little
Maybe.
overview. I'm not obviously the best person to explain it, but I got a decent idea what it is. So I don't even know who the very first person to come up with Synchronicity was, or who first. I'm sure people were noticing it for thousands of years. And
I think it was the dude who made Acid Leary.
No, well, the oldest one that I know of is Carl Jung, and Carl Jung was.
Oh, maybe that's who I'm mistaking it for, because you've told me about Carl Jung and Timothy Leary and all of them.
And
so.
they'd all taken his teachings. Even the Psychedelic Experience has a whole section where he's praising Jung for his influence in that. And Terence McKenna talked about synchronicity quite a lot. But at least as far as I know, the farthest back that somebody was writing about it was Jung. At least the most serious writings I think that are out there are by Jung on this. Anyways, what synchronicity is just, it's almost like deja vu in a sense. It's one of those crazy experiences that just happen. So like the fact that we just started randomly talking about listening to Tool at the Slipknot concert as I'm wearing a Slipknot t-shirt. Or let's say Terence McKenna's example is sitting out in this fucking like desert place that he was at thinking about, what was it, like fried scallops or something, and then out of nowhere his buddy finally rides back and he has fried scallops with him or some shit like that. It's some type of food. And there's been a few crazy synchronicities happening lately. We had one earlier before that even, but I don't remember what it was that led me into saying I wanted to bring it up.
Yeah, I can't truly remember either.
I know, I don't remember now, but
you were talking about a movie that your coworker watched. So I'll think about that while you talk about that.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I was gonna say there was that, which happened the other day, and I'll just say his name. His name's Brett. He'll probably come on. He wants to come on the podcast, so he'll probably be on. I don't know how long it'll be out, but he wants to come on. And we're gonna, how would I say it? We're gonna crucify him with our knowledge on Christianity because he's a fundamentalist Christian.
Oh, is it that guy?
Yeah, I'm just completely kidding. He obviously knows that. I just had to say that to fuck with you, but we're gonna have fun.
You can come on, man. We'll love you all the same. I don't care about your beliefs.
It'll be interesting. It'll be a lot of fun. I actually think you guys will get along great, honestly.
That's something I can go into after your synchronicity thing.
Oh, awesome. Perfect. But yeah, so the other day I was at work and me and him were talking and we get off into all kinds of random ass conversations like, I can't avoid doing with anybody. And I've been referring him to some kind of show I've been watching on Netflix. Actually, it's Community. Community, Dan Harmon.
Yeah,
great
I was
show.
just about to say.
Funny as fuck, yeah. It's awesome. And I was referring him to that and he's like, oh no, I didn't get around to it, but I watched this movie last night. And I was like, what movie did you watch? Because I'd also watched the movie, and I was just interested. And he's like, War Dogs, and I'm like, No shit, dude. I fucking watched the same movie last night. It was so fucking crazy.
fucking
Just
cool.
the fact, like, he was talking about this movie he was watching. I'm like, oh man, that's a synchronistic event. You know, something like that. It's another example of a synchronistic event. And it's just crazy to me. They say that you can increase it and decrease it at will too, if you as much as you're paying attention for it. It makes sense too.
Yeah. So, in that sense, here's a good explanation of synchronicity. I was, since COVID started, you see a lot of different people where I work, right? A different flow of people come in, a lot of people staying home, not going out nearly as much. And before COVID, there was this lady and dude I would see, totally separate people, right? They probably don't know each other. But I would see them occasionally, every week or so, they come talk to me for a while. And since COVID started, I hadn't seen them once.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. And, I didn't think they'd gotten COVID or anything like that, but I was just like, I wonder how those guys are doing. Was like this probably late, mid-40 to mid-50-year-old. You good?
I'm good.
This mid-50 to mid-40-year-old lady, right? And, she comes in, talks with me occasionally, before COVID happened. And then there was this Hispanic dude that would come in, talk to me. He was cool as fuck. He kept telling me I should come work for him,
Damn.
Do like mowing lawns and shit like that. He has his own business for that. And apparently it pays really well. Like from what he told me.
Damn, that'd be nice.
More than my current job, but
Shit, dude, let's mow lawns.
Yeah, let's mow lawns, bro.
I'm down.
And then like in the winter he does plowing business.
Oh,
So
nice.
yeah. So he'd be a good all-year person to work for it. He even offers like summer jobs and shit like that. So
Badass.
yeah.
That is cool.
But I've been wondering, man, I wonder how these guys are doing. This is like, a year and a half after I haven't seen them, almost, maybe just a year or so. And then like the very next day after I had that fucking thought, I see the lady come in and she comes and finds me and I'm like, oh my god,
Damn.
how are you?
Damn.
And I can't remember if it was the same day or like within the next couple days, but then the Hispanic dude came in.
Well, that's even crazier.
Yeah,
that
it was
is.
so close together. It's like, this is weird, man. I love it though. Synchronicity is a great thing to look for when it comes to that type of shit, you know what I mean?
I would almost put it as an event that's so coincidental that it's too coincidental.
Yeah.
Too coincidental to be a coincidence.
Exactly,
Yeah.
like existence.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Great point.
Everything is like that.
It's a simulation.
It is.
I don't know.
Wake
actually.
up.
We can talk about that for a second, actually. Personally, I don't buy it. But it's really, 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 really convincing, and who knows?
Yeah. Like, there's a lot of stuff to, pull on that thread. You know what I mean?
It's
a lot
a flip
of
of
threads
a
to
coin.
pull.
Yeah, definitely a lot of threads to pull. Yeah.
Like, when it feels like your character is saving game. Like, you're automatically saving game while you're driving, and that's when you, like, wake up and it's like, I've driven, like, 7 miles, and I don't know where the fuck I am right now.
That would be nuts. I've never thought about it like that either.
It's like a save game. You die, you don't even know you died, you just start back from your fucking car. Imagine if that's what death is.
Huh.
Everyone has their own, like, little load spot.
And then what would deja vu be? Just be like the point after you've already restarted the game. You know,
Probably.
you know what I mean?
I don't
Some
know.
shit like that. That's weird to think about.
I know, maybe that
yeah.
you died short after your first deja vu. And then, like, when you reset, right? That's when you go through it again, but you go through it without dying. And then it's like, oh, that's weird.
Huh, that is interesting. Yeah, that is a good way of thinking of it. Either way, who fucking knows? But that's a good way of putting it.
I mean, you can't tell me it can't happen because, we have Sims. Sims, we can make watch fucking TV.
Yep.
We can make play video games. We
Yep.
can make go to work every day, work their full shift. We can make them be criminals. How do we know we're not all under the control of something higher?
Exactly. And that's like pretty much the biggest argument that they have towards it is essentially what it comes down to is if you've got a group of people that can come up with the type of simulation that's real enough to make the simulation believe that they're a real simulation and that they're autonomous and that they can go about doing whatever, then at some point in time they're going to evolve to the point where they can create a simulation and then so on further and so down.
Kind of like how we're inventing our VR chat.
Exactly.
You know, you can just go into any world you want. You can be any character you want.
Exactly.
And then you're just going in there, and you know, the further along it gets, the more detailed it's going to get. We already have like the multi-directional treadmills to feel like we're actually walking in game and shit.
Which is cool.
How do we know we're not just sitting in like some fucking chair with some goggles on right now?
You never know. Or in something like the fucking Matrix.
Yeah, we're just sitting there. We don't know we're part of this.
It absolutely could
It's like
be.
Inception, bro. I can bend this fucking world right
It's
now.
literally like Inception. Yeah, that's so true. But that's what they're getting at, is that it's, you know, it's turtles all the way down, and let's say then there's a 50-50 chance. Either we're base reality, then we're the very beginning part trying to come up with the idea of the simulation and to produce that, or
We're an experiment.
the newest fucking one getting to the point where we can create the simulation to further generate it down the line.
Like, how many simulations are we in? Like, if we were to exit, what's controlling the people who are controlling us, and so on and so forth?
Exactly.
Like, how far does this fucking little game go?
Who fucking knows, man?
God, I love conspiracies.
That's... I don't even
Or even scientific theory.
You almost can't even call that a conspiracy, because it's actually got a 50-50 chance of being real.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
We'll never prove it.
Yeah.
We'll wake up and we won't be able to restart as the same character. We have to... It's kind of like how you're playing a game on like the hardest difficulty, and if you die in the game, you get sent back. That's game over. You get sent back to the beginning, and that's maybe where Hindu? No, the Buddhists. There we go. The Buddhists and probably other cultures believe in reincarnation. So what if reincarnation is part of simulation theory? What if reincarnation is us dying in this game and having to start a fucking new game?
Hey, you never know.
I mean,
technically, you could take the idea of simulation theory and apply it to any religion, even Christianity.
Yeah.
You know, God is the creator.
He's the IT guy.
Exactly. Yeah. Like,
it's kind of a shitty one if you ask me.
He's the programmer.
Yeah. Kind of a shitty one too. Someone should fire that motherfucker.
There's things that we could fix. There's for sure.
Yeah.
But it is definitely an insane idea. It's something that kind of blows your mind to think about.
Yeah, we're getting close with games like, you know, Skyrim was kind of like an alright version of that. It was like the most real thing we had in 2011. You know what I mean? But now we have games like Cyberpunk that on like max graphics looks fucking amazing.
I
haven't played it, but I've watched it, you know, because I don't have an next-gen console and I don't trust it on the Xbox One.
Now, is it as large as Skyrim was?
I think it's larger.
Bigger, really?
A lot of games are. A
Wow.
lot of games are.
That is crazy, actually. That's insane.
I'll have to show you.
Huge.
I'll have to show you like top 10 video game maps.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I didn't even think about that.
But
fuck, I don't even know. What else are we gonna talk about? We had a few topics lined up, but I think we about hit it all.
What were we talking about just a minute ago?
Synchronicity.
Synchronicity.
And then we dove into Skyrim because of simulation theory.
Yeah. I guarantee we missed like 7 subjects we were going to talk about.
Possibly, but that leaves us
possibly.
That leaves us with more for next time. And
Yeah.
I'm not saying we're done quite yet. We're just kind of thinking where we're going. I'm trying to personally think of if we're missing anything.
I guess while we're trying to brainstorm for the next idea, we can charge into this idea. We're going to do shrooms.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd like to introduce you guys to what Maihi calls choco rooms. I got these at Five Below. They look kind of good, but they also look like shit. So we're gonna eat them for you guys and give our opinion on it. If you should buy these, because I'm not sure if I trust this.
That was the other thing I forgot, but you honestly caught me off guard when you said, we're gonna do some shrooms.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, we're gonna. Oh yeah, this does look damn good. Oh my god.
It's basically just chocolate
Oh
covered pretzel.
wow, exactly. You know how
cracker.
much of a fan of this shit I am. I love chocolate.
Oh, this one's good.
Wow, damn good. I did at first think they were actually like chocolate covered mushrooms,
Yeah,
which still I would try. That's not good, but
it's the only way they'll taste good.
that's good. Oh my god, I hope I can order these off Amazon. Holy shit.
Bought these at Five Below. Knock yourselves out.
I do want to do more food tastings on here too. I love tasting foods. I know you said surströmming. Maybe. If we hit 50,000 subscribers, we'll eat surströmming.
Oh man, that's setting the bar way too high.
I don't care. For that?
Not 100?
No.
You would do it for 100 subscribers?
No.
I mean, it's going to take a while to build up to that anyway.
No. That's alright. That's alright. We'll set it out there. We're saying it right now. 50,000 subs. We'll eat some motherfucking surströmming.
Yep. Let's go, 21 subs.
Well, that shit's nasty as fuck. Look it up.
No, one of the best methods I found for eating actual, like, psychedelic mushrooms is how we did it last time. Went to Taco Bell, got a 12-pack of fucking tacos, and we just sprinkled them on there like fucking lettuce. And you hardly tasted them, and they went down a lot easier than eating them fucking straight.
I can honestly say that's the best way I've taken them.
Yeah.
So I've tried taking them with candy. It works, but it's still nasty. I've tried tea, which isn't bad, but you just want to shot it.
Yeah.
And get it down as fast as possible. Another synchronicity. I have a friend that just hit me up asking me how to make shroom tea.
Yeah.
Holy shit, what's going on right now?
I love synchronicity.
Oh my
so
god.
much.
I'm losing my mind. But, yeah, I've drank tea. It's really nasty still, but you can get it down pretty quick. But yeah, the way that we did it worked really well. I'd say that's probably the best way I've done it too.
I've never had the tea, but yeah, and that was just an idea. I don't remember like if I thought about that beforehand or if I thought about that when we got back home with the tacos. Like, all right, we're about to get into a trip. How do we want to take these? And in my opinion, if you're gonna do them raw the first time. Like, don't put them on anything. Just so you can have that experience of eating the straight mushrooms.
Because some people say they like the taste of it. Terrence McKenna said he liked the taste of it. I'm not to that level, and I eat a lot of mushrooms.
It's like chewing moldy styrofoam.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I eat a lot of wild mushrooms and all kinds of like morels, dog peckers, fucking beefsteak, chanterelles, oyster mushrooms, chicken hen of the woods, you know, boletes, shit like that. And I fucking do not like the taste of
psychedelics.
Yeah,
psychedelic
shrooms.
shrooms.
Yeah, shrooms.
Yeah, it's just.
I'm trying not to incriminate myself, but it's just.
Yeah.
It's so hard running a psychedelic-y themed fucking podcast.
Not wanting to talk about it.
Yeah. But then again, freedom of speech. And statute of limitations are not done yet, but we'll say they are. And these are all just hypotheticals, so it doesn't matter anyway.
Yeah, these are all just stories we're making up.
Exactly.
But,
just like my fucking origin story.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just great, talented liars.
Say, these are all made up until age of legality.
No,
So.
thanks, Southern.
Yeah. Got a few months yet.
Yeah.
But yes.
But yeah.
I think that was my favorite way of taking them. And then how later that night after taking them, we were about in the middle of the trip. We were outside at the bonfire. I was playing the new Tool album.
Yeah.
So disappointed in it.
So disappointed. Only Numa was good.
Yeah, I did like Numa.
Only one I like.
And then for some reason, the one that sticks out to me when I think about that trip was Chocolate Chip Trip. For some reason, that one stuck out to me. I think I listened to it like 5 times. And
I don't even remember the song, but I remember that song just because of the
Yeah.
name, because of when we were tripping.
Yeah.
But I don't remember. I can't think of it right now.
It's one where it's basically all noise. It's
I'd have to listen to it again.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that album.
Me neither. I was really disappointed with it.
Like 13 years, really?
Mm-hmm.
Stick to Pussifer if you're going to write shit like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Like The Humbling River, that is
that's good.
my absolute favorite song by Pussifer, except maybe Apocalyptical. That's so good too.
See, The Humbling River was the first one I'd heard from Christopher. My uncle.
Me too, I think.
Eric actually showed it to me. I'd like to get him on the podcast sometime too. He's a very interesting person.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'd like to do it.
Another interview I was thinking about doing is if we could go to a VFW and ask if it'd be cool to interview one of the vets there.
That is a great idea. I would love. There's not very many World War II vets left. I would love if we could find one, or a few.
I love to find a Vietnam vet, and those I could still find those. I see them wearing the hats throughout Walmart all the time, but like going to the VFW might be a better place to start than like seeing them around the store.
I know my grandpa has a few friends that are vets. I could talk to them and see if they'd like to be interviewed or not. But yeah, VFW would be a little easier. They'd be just out in the public.
Maybe interview a few of them if there's even that many there.
Oh yeah,
from that war. You know what I mean?
Definitely, or just any of them, honestly.
Have them tell like if they have like favorite story they like to tell, or stuff like that. I think it'd be cool. Favorite story, yeah. That's hard to do with a fucking soldier.
Yeah, because my grandpa doesn't like talking about it.
Yeah, and that's understandable. I would never press a veteran to tell me his story, but I want to go there and say, here's the option for you to tell your story. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Which that's one thing that I plan on doing in time too, is having like my grandparents on the podcast, and not even like for selfish reasons, not for you guys, but literally for me. I see it as a way of encapsulating my grandparents for future generations down the line. They'll be able to see their family, and my kids and my great grandkids will be able to see us doing this stupid ass shit that we're doing now. Don't know if I'd actually want them to see that. But, and then
when they're 16.
Yeah, when they're 16, exactly. Yeah. But I do want to get my grandparents, maybe not necessarily on the podcast, but I want to interview them.
Yeah.
Because even that's something I don't even care about me being in the picture. I would literally just want to be asking them questions and shit. Stuff. Like I would
like to do that too. I want to get a couple of travel mics and do that. And if you guys have any suggestions on who you think we should talk to, help us get into contact with them.
Yeah, for sure. I know those 5 views are all me, so please, people, just say something. Be mean. We asked for people to be mean in the comments last time. Nobody was mean. That's an open invitation.
Because they're mostly all our friends and family.
True, but that gives you even more reason. Roast our asses.
Yeah. Roast my shitty dreads. I don't give a fuck.
For real, bro. That's what I'm saying.
So I know they look like shit.
And my dumb ass. All the stupid shit I do, please. That'd be funny.
Yeah, make fun of our stories.
Yeah, true.
Make fun of his origin story.
Yeah, that was so bad.
Yeah.
That was so bad. That did not turn out the way I wanted it to.
Dude, it was so hard not to laugh when you were saying that.
It was so hard, though, yeah.
I think the last take is probably the best one we're going to get.
I think so, too. We're just going to roll with it. Yeah. But damn. Yeah. I don't know what they, other than that, and Alex, I apologize to you, because I know that's probably not going to be fun. We had a few cuts in there.
Yeah, we're sorry about that.
And I don't know, I hope it turns out funny. We'll see. But
I hope he at least gets a kick out of it while he's at it.
Yeah, I hope you get a kick out of it, exactly. Maybe we'll keep it for like bloopers or something.
I think it would have been funnier to him if that's how you introduced yourself to him when I introduced you guys.
Didn't even think about it.
Although I probably would have laughed there too. That would have been so hard not to do.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. But either way, I think we hit quite a lot of great topics today. We kind of bounced around a bit.
Yeah.
What are we at?
We're at 9:20.
Oh shit, we're fucking real damn close. I mean, we could keep blabbing for 9 minutes.
Let's go for a little bit longer.
We definitely got the fucking tools to do it.
Fuck yeah,
Sonny boy. Jesus Christ, we got our motherfucking chopper room. Yeah, our chopper rooms here. That's all I fucking need.
Honestly, aren't fucking bad either.
As long as the walls don't start breathing.
Dude, you want the walls to start breathing.
Yeah, I do.
It helps you get into your own chi.
It helps the ego die and dissolve into the background.
Everything's breathing, you become one with everything.
You get to understand the unity of the universe.
I understand this tapestry.
I am he as you are he as you are me, and we are all together.
Namaste.
As one.
I don't know fucking shit about this.
Me neither.
I'll say I've tripped a few times, but, nothing horribly major yet. But that's why we're called psychonauts, because you've had more experience, but we're still in the early stages of being true psychonautic people.
I'm scared too, honestly, because I have mental illness that runs in my family, so it actually really fucking terrifies me, and I've got to be really committed when I go into it, because it does really horrify me.
Oh, maybe we can end on that story. Incriminate yourself in college.
Which time?
Where you did the whippets.
Oh, damn, you have... I don't know, how much time we got? I guess we probably got time.
We got 7 minutes.
We got time. Well,
you can give just the basics.
Yeah, good idea. So, I was trying to think where to start this one.
And we're laughing because this one is real. We're not trying to hide it. This is the first take.
True. Yeah, this is actually... I'm just trying to think where to start it. Me and PG, my homie Patrick, Mexican name Patrick. That's the weirdest thing ever. He was born on St. Patty's Day, so his name's Patrick.
Is that really the reason?
It is, actually,
really?
It is, but my eyes got big because that's another synchronicity. He literally hit me up last night.
Dude, nice.
Holy shit! But...
Synchronicity out the ass. It happens as much as you think about it.
Trip, but... so... We were planning this one for a while. We were actually really excited to do it because I'd had a stupidly profound idea that we needed to come together and bring the synergetic effects of nitrous oxide mixed with LSD mixed with a little bit of good old cannabis and
Didn't you drink that night too, or were you?
not that night actually, no, surprisingly. But so what ended up happening, I don't know if we went to BioLife the night before, if we did go that day. I want to say it was the day before because I had a little bit of money. Went and donated some blood so we could afford it. And it was the funniest fucking thing ever because literally right down the road from our dorms, like one of the, I guess there was a few closer gas stations, but it's literally just down from the fucking the school. It's actually like the school's gas station is what it is, and I couldn't believe it because I was going in there one day just to get like a pop or something, or no, actually I think it was to buy cigarettes for my buddy Seth because, let's see now, almost 3 years ago now, we could legally buy cigarettes at 18. Now we can't until you're 21, so I legally can't buy cigarettes anymore.
I got fucking turned around right as the pandemic fucking began.
Mm-hmm.
And that pissed me off because then I couldn't renew my fucking license, and now I'm still waiting for my appointment.
Yeah, it's fucking bullshit.
But keep going.
At that time, I could buy cigarettes, and my buddy Seth was 17, so he couldn't. So I was, I'm incriminating myself again, but he, so I'd buy him cigarettes because that's my homie, you know, I got him. And I was in there one day getting him some cigs, and I look over at this wall, and it's like it's fucking bricked up with nothing but boxes of Whippets. I couldn't believe they had them that close to the college. It was so funny. I mean, I could understand a head shop. There was like 3 or 4 head
what
shops.
A gas station.
Yeah, a gas station right next to the college. It was so awesome.
Trying to get college kids off Adderall.
It's something, man. Yeah, that's true too. But either way, I had to get me some. I thought it was so fucking awesome that they were there, so I fucking, got a box of Whippets. And like I said, me and PG were planning this out for a while, so we were trying to find some acid, and let's see, I don't know if we just couldn't get a hold of our typical plug at the time, or he wasn't available till later, or what, but we went to our buddy Eddie, so we could get some weed.
You're
and
incriminating a lot of people here.
I know, but these are basic ass names. You won't be able to track them down, thank God. But we went to my buddy Eddie, and we were getting some weed, and then he's like, oh no, I got a buddy that's got some acid, or I can get some, or something like that. So we're like, alright, let's go, bet. And we went to this house that we'd actually gone to a party in, I don't know, probably a month or 2 beforehand, and we didn't know any of the people in the house, but Eddie did.
Of course not.
For some reason. And so he went in and came out, and he's like, yeah, man, I got the bud, but he gave me the acid for free. And I'm instantly in my head, red sign. I'm like, oh no, that's not good. But back then, I was a little riskier.
Yeah.
And I didn't really have the money to afford a test kit, so I was just like, man, fuck it. If it's a spitter, it's a quitter. So, or if it's bitter, it's a spitter. And if it's a spitter,
can you like not even take it back though?
I fucked that up.
Like once you put it on your tongue.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Yeah, once it's on there, yeah, you fucked.
Yeah.
They could have been N-bomb, but I think it was acid. But we got like 5 tabs, so we had 2.5 tabs.
Always test your acid.
Always test your acid. You can order test kits offline. We should actually put a link down below to a test kit because that's what Psych Substance does.
Are you friends with Alex?
Yeah.
Send him the link to it.
Okay. Good
or
idea.
send me because I can put it in the description too.
Yeah, good idea.
But anyway,
I'll have to see. Yeah, I'll find it. But either way, so we got 5 tabs, and it wasn't like the stuff we'd been getting. It wasn't on like colored blotter paper. It wasn't on like the picture shit. It was on just like regular white paper.
Yeah,
it was like kind of sketchy, but let's try it. So we took 2.5 tabs each. We're sitting there, and we broke the biggest rule that you're not supposed to break. We're like, oh man, I'm not feeling shit. Let's hit up Drake. Let's get some more. So we hit up this kid, and we go and get, what did we do? I think 2 more on top of the 2.5 that we did.
So you did 4.5 tabs.
Yeah. Ooh. Again, we don't know if that shit was fucking good, pure acid. We don't know if it was acid. We don't know if it was anything.
Yeah.
Might have been fucking placebo, but either way, we had the 2.5 of that stuff, and then 2 of really good tabs, and 2 really good tabs. Get you there. They'll get you there, and these tabs, honestly, that we got from the other kid, was the best shit that I ever had, and I wanted to stock up on it, but I didn't have the money at the time, so I didn't get to, and I'm still so sad that I didn't get to, because it was so good. So here we are, 4.5 deep. Fuck, I think we were watching Fear and Loathing, honestly, because he'd never seen it. I'm trying to remember if that was the time we were watching that. We were watching something.
This is backcountry.
No, it was Fear and Loathing, too. It was Fear and Loathing. I remember it because I remember just, like I was having a great time. Everything was good. Like I said, he'd never seen it, so he was wanting to watch Fear and Loathing and everything, and we're chilling. And then I could feel everything rising, so I'm like, alright, it's time to do a whip it. Let's see where this takes me, you know? And then, like, the movie started kind of fucking with me in a sense. I love Fear and Loathing. I've seen Fear and Loathing so many times. It's a great movie. It's amazing. And I could just tell that I was getting to that point of, like, kind of losing touch with reality in a sense. It's hard to describe that to people, but that's just, I'm just going to keep talking. But I was kind of, like, losing it, so then, like, the movie was fucking with me in a sense. Not necessarily having a bad trip, but it was just fucking with me a bit. Everything was kind of just off. It was just off. The movie was off, and
a lot of things about that movie were off. It's Hunter S. Thompson. So.
Yeah, but just this particular time, it was off in a little bit darker way. Not necessarily bad, but just a bit darker in a sense. And so, of course, I'm like, alright, I'm feeling it. It's time to do this, whip it. And I did this fucking whip it, and I got so fucking high. I mean, it fucking literally, it just intensified it 100 times. And then, you know, of course, we're sitting there smoking still, and after I did the one whip it, I was done with it because it fucked me up so much. And then end of the movie came, and I'm like, alright, man, I'm tired, I'm going to bed. I wasn't tired, but at that point,
you needed to be alone.
Exactly. At that point, I was having a bad trip. So he took off, I shut the movie off, I fucking took my clothes off, I got in bed, and I'm sitting there, and I'm just overthinking everything. And like I said, I'm having a bad trip at this point in time. I'm having a real bad time, not having fun at all. And I'm going over every scenario in my head because, you know, that fucking, like I said, that whip it accelerated everything. And I'm sitting there, and I'm looking around it's my dorm room at the time, but I still had, you know, all the same posters that I do around here. And I'm looking at all my posters, and I'm like, all my books, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm so pathetic. I'm so intrigued by these fucking drugs, these substances, all this stuff that all the music that is influenced by it, and all these books, and I'm so pathetic that I'm so interested in all these shallow things, and look what it's done to you now, you know, it's getting into my head, and then I'm sitting there thinking, like, oh my god, because I've never hit the point of having a bad trip or being scared on acid. Because my mom told me when I was younger, like, you always gotta just remember, it's just a drug, it'll wear off, it'll pass, and that always was fine, just doing acid alone, but something about that whip, it just, and maybe it was because I also did 4.5 tabs.
It might be.
That's probably part of it also, but either way, this particular time just hit me, caught me off guard, and I'm so blessed that it happened. I love that it happened. I needed it. But then I started just cycling down. I'm like, oh my god. You know, and in my head I was thinking the same thing. It was the whip it. The whip it did it. And, you know, nitrous oxide can kill your brain cells because essentially what you're doing is you're asphyxiating your brain. But as long as you breathe properly beforehand and you oxygenate your brain and your blood and everything, then it's not as bad. But you still do kill some brain cells.
Steve-O's a good example of that, but he's also a good example of someone who brought himself back from the darkest place of his life.
Exactly.
Like, you know, that story of him doing, like, 24 containers of whippets that had 12 in them each or some shit like that.
A giant
There's like
amount.
300 containers all in all. That math is all fucked up.
And he was doing
Correct
it
me.
like every day.
No, he was trying to do it all at once. Because he wanted to replace the oxygen in his body with nitrous oxide.
Yeah, exactly. That's insane.
You can find that picture of him with all the fucking nitrous canisters on the floor. You know, he's really fucking high on that shit. And then years later, he posted, just a few weeks ago, actually.
I've seen it, yeah.
Him doing that with, like,
what was it?
Kombucha drinks, vegetarian shit, because I think he's vegetarian now.
Kombucha's disgusting.
It really is.
But it's still cool as fuck, though. Yeah, it's cool as fuck.
But anyway, go back in the years you were at the Whippets.
Yeah, and I remember him saying also that he'd seen people walking through the walls and shit like that. I've never been to that
level. He got Whippets, out there.
Yeah, I've never done that.
But he made an amazing recovery, and I'd love to meet him.
Oh yeah, same, dude. He's
a hero.
He's a hero. He's a hero. Exactly. But yeah, I've never done that many Whippets. I've only done a few boxes at a time. Not at a time, but a few boxes at particular times, spread out with multiple people. Don't do a whole box by yourself, nothing like that. That's stupid. But either way, at this point in time, with the peak of my anxiety rising with the trip and everything that's going on, and I'm sitting here and I'm fucking worrying, and I got all this shit in my head that's fucking floating around and going through my mind, and I'm sitting there and I'm thinking like, it was the Whippets, man. The Whippets fucking did it. I done did it. There's this line actually in fucking Fear and Loathing, and like I said, the movie started fucking with me. It's funny as I tell the story, more of it's coming back, and there's this part in the movie where Dr. Gonzo, he's sitting over there, his attorney, his associate, and he's sitting there, one toke over the line, one toke over the line, and I just kept thinking that over and over in my head. One toke over the line, man. You did it. You fucking went too far. You're never coming back now. You did too many fucking Whippets. You destroyed your brain. You're on fucking retard mode. You're on glitching the fucking computer right now. Everything's just spazzing out. You're not there. I'm sitting there thinking like, my fucking parents are gonna get a call from the college tomorrow that they found me laying here dead. It sounds stupid, it really does, but when you're fucking tripping like that, and you got that such intense anxiety, and then you start thinking about like brain cells dying because of nitrous oxide, then it just hijacks your mind and it's just tumbles down from there. And I'm just sitting there thinking, oh my god, my parents, what are they gonna think? They're gonna think, oh wow, fucking Vlad finally did it this time, you know what I mean? And I started getting all fucking emotional about it and shit, like, fuck, my parents are gonna find me dead. And then I started thinking, oh, what is this then? Am I fucking trapped in purgatory? And then I'm like, oh man, if I was fucking dead, then I wouldn't be in this room anymore, and I'm sitting here thinking all these terrible, like, fucked up, crazy thoughts, and the whole time it feels like the room's getting tighter and tighter, and everything's getting more constricted and darker, and my thoughts are worse, and everything's speeding up, and it's getting worse and more intense, and then finally I hit this point, I'm like, it's ego death.
Yeah.
And then it's like, everything fucking just, like a fucking bouncy house going up, everything just went back to normal. And I was just back. I was back in my body, and I'm like, oh my god, it was ego death. It took so long for it to to hit me because I'd never actually experienced ego death in that sense. I'd never lost subjective touch with reality, and it finally just hit me at that point in time. And like I said, it was like I took a breath of fresh air, and everything just bounced back into spot. And literally, I got down onto my knees and I started praying to God. Thank you so fucking much. Thank you so much that I could return. And I was praying the whole time when I was going through the bad thing. I'm like, just please, Lee. And of course I was doing the I'll never do drugs again. It was so dumb. You hit that pleading point, but I'm like, just please let me return to normal. Let me be able to call my parents.
5 stages of grief, my friend.
Exactly. Yes, exactly.
Bargaining.
Exactly. Yeah, and pleading.
Acceptance after that. I can't remember the 5 stages.
Yeah, I can't remember it off the top of my head, but it's one of them. But it's just everything was hitting me, and I'm pleading just to be able to fucking talk to my parents and to be able to step back into my normal reality, And that was the other thought that kept occurring to me is like, oh my god, I'm trying so hard to escape normal reality. I'm trying so hard to smoking weed and doing Whippets and acid. I'm trying so hard. It's like, and when you're in that state like that, in that much of a panic mode, you want nothing more than for everything to be back to normal. You just want to see cars going down the road. You want to hear the annoying fucking neighbors.
It gives you a new appreciation for everything that you thought was annoying.
It really does. Gratitude.
Like you say, those fucking kids that keep running up and down your fucking stairs because of the apartment you live in.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, you get fucking pissed off, but if you were to reach that point, you would love to hear that noise again for a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. You'd be grateful to be back in that level of reality.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, what gets me is the fact, like I was saying, you know, I'm so, like I said, mental illness runs in my family. My father's a paranoid schizophrenic, and he's bipolar and agoraphobic. He's got anxiety, depression. Obviously, he's got depression. He's bipolar, manic depression. And so that's always been a recurring theme with me is I'm a hypochondriac of my mind. I've always been so scared that I'm just going to lose it. That's always, like, ever since I was a little kid, that's always been a thought of mine is, in my head, I'm somewhere doing something, but in reality, what if my body's off doing something else and I don't even know? What if I'm in some level of psychosis and I don't even realize it? It's always been a horrifying thought for me. It's plagued me since I was a kid.
Like those movies where they're like, you know, the serial killer doesn't even know he's killing people, but then it's like he wakes up and he's like, oh.
Exactly that scares me so fucking much. And that fear gets intensified when you're tripping because all your fears get intensified.
Yeah, it's kind of like when you're that thought of driving down the road and not knowing like how far you went, not knowing like how you survived this far driving because your mind just wandered. It's kind of like that in its own respect.
It is, yeah, exactly. And fuck, where was I going with that? Where was I going with that? Shit. Give me a second.
I'm sorry, people.
No. Give me a second. Fuck. God damn it. I just lose train of thought so easily. I've been smoking this pen too much. Give me just a second. I'm sorry, Alex. Fuck. What were we talking about though? I was getting psychology. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm good. So yeah, I've been so afraid, you know, that since I was a little kid that it's been a reoccurring theme that I'm gonna fucking lose my mind. I never have. But it terrifies me. It really does. Like I said, I've always been a hypochondriac in my mind. So I've taken psychology classes when I was in high school, both at the school. I'm dual enrolled at the college, took psych and abnormal psych, just because like I want to be aware of the indications of everything that's going on. So that's my biggest fear when I do psychedelics. I'm so afraid that I'm going to lose it, which, yes, it's possible you can go into certain levels of psychosis, and I've heard of people that have mental breaks and everything like that, but that almost never happens. And I know of even like Shane Moss, who's a diagnosed bipolar, or person with bipolar, and he goes hardcore with psychedelics. He takes a lot of shit. So it doesn't scare me enough not to do it, because I know my levels, you know, I know
but it helps you be a little bit more cautious.
It's a lot more cautious, and there is definitely a level of fear involved, but I think for anybody that's going to be trying to get into psychedelics, anything like that, you have to know there's a level of fear involved. You have to know what you're getting into.
I was scared as fuck. And the first time we tripped together, it was 3.5 grams of mushrooms, and you know, it's something, but it's nothing at the same time.
Still a dose, though.
It's a dose. It's a healthy first dose, you know what I mean? Exactly. I didn't start off microdosing or anything like that, trying to build tolerance to ward it off. I was just like, all right, we're doing it on this day, we did it on that day, and, you know, it's like both times we've tripped together, I always got in that mindset of like, you know, worrying about the other person who's tripping with me. I didn't give a shit about anyone else that was around us, but I was just like, man, he doesn't look like he's having that good of a time. But, you know, you think that just because you're both in your own state of mind. Yep. You're both just kind of going with the flow of what you just ingested. And the other person's not always going to have a smile on their face. The other person's not always going to have a frown on their face. You know what I mean? Yeah, which is... It all depends on the person and what they're trying to battle with these.
And that was one
if you're using them for your own therapy, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
A lot of people... excuse me. A lot of people take them as a more party drug, and you know, I could see doing that. I never got into parties, so I don't like doing drugs around people. You know
same, yeah.
Like, I can smoke weed around people, but like, I don't like doing anything else around that many people.
Me neither.
Crowd, 3 people could be a fucking crowd when it comes to, you know, psychedelics. If you're not in your right mindset.
Yourself is a crowd when you're on psychedelics.
Exactly.
And,
like everyone in your fucking mind that's talking to you, you're, you know, focusing on all your thoughts, but you're also like focused on visuals, like the tracers on your hand and shit.
I mean, it's bouncing back and forth.
Exactly.
At 1,000 miles an hour.
So you're thinking about, you know, am I okay? Then you're thinking about, is he okay? But you just have to think, and until the other person starts, you know, kind of freaking out, they're okay. You know what I mean? They're just, you know, kind of in their own little train of thought.
And that was one thing that plagued me last time we tripped, actually, was the same thing of the, fuck, I'm losing my mind, I'm doing something and I don't even realize it. And it got to me last time, too. That's been a reoccurring theme in my last trip. That's why I haven't tripped in like 2 years or something now, because it was getting to me. It was, well, the old quote, Alan Watts quote, once you get the message, hang up the phone.
Yeah.
That kept coming back to me because I knew I had my message. I knew the things that I personally already knew locked away somewhere, that it brought forth and gave me the answers, and I knew the answers of what I needed to do, but I just wasn't integrating it, and I wasn't doing it. Exactly. I wasn't doing what I needed to, and I was still just forcing it, trying to force through to have a good time, and to do it with you and everything, you know, because I felt like, fuck, I need to be this, my homie, we're guiding in, we're doing this whole fucking thing, you know, so I'm like, I gotta do it, but then again, on the same level, I knew that I needed a break too, because I had my answer, but I think at this point in time, well, I guess I won't go down that conversation, yeah, like I said though, that used to plague me for a while. That especially the last times that we tripped.
Yeah. And you know, it's a normal thing. It shows kind of when you're in that state of not knowing what's going on, you're still worrying about the other person. It shows who you are as a person rather than being worried about yourself, which, you know, on psychedelics, that's kind of the point. If you're taking them for like therapeutic reasons, you know what I mean? You should be focused on yourself. But having the other person there can be nice because it's good to have someone there who knows what's happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why I've tripped with you, because you've tripped before me and I didn't know what I was getting into. So it was good to have someone there that was like explaining everything, you know what I mean?
Exactly, yeah.
But yeah, I think on that note,
I just want to say one thing real quick, because like we've been talking about bad trips and everything. And I think it's just good to go on like the mindset of, it's not, yeah, they're fun, they're a lot of fun, you're gonna have a lot of fun, but they're not fun. They're not fun, they're serious tools is what it is.
Yeah.
And people don't realize that. They think, oh, I'm gonna do this, blah, blah, blah. They're not fun. And you can have a bad trip.
and there's certain people that can, you know, take them at parties and shit like that. That'll be fine. You know, people can do like 3 tabs and be fine at a party, drink a fuck ton of beer, be social as hell, but not everyone can do that.
Exactly.
And those are the people who I think use it more for therapy. The ones that do it privately.
Yeah, and you would know your limits. I mean, if it's your first time, definitely don't go to a party and take it. I wouldn't recommend that anyways, personally, but...
Who's going to carry an acid tester with him to a party? That's such a nerdy thing.
Yeah, literally, yeah. But no, I just, it's good to know that even though bad trips happen, and they will happen, and that's the thing, like, you can do, especially me personally, from my experience, the first, like, 5-6 times I've done acid, every time was great, and I know people like that, you can have a good 5-10 times, everything's fucking great, and then you'll just have one, it just hits you, just rings your fucking bell. And it's like, you thought you were playing a game, well guess what? It fucking morphs into like a dark Pink Floyd video, you know what I mean? Everything's just intense, and it's like, this is what's going on. Sounds absolutely stupid to talk about. It really does.
People who've done it know what we're talking about, though.
Exactly.
Like, you know, the people, maybe even the people who do it to party, maybe they remember their first few times doing it and having those type of experiences and just got used to it, but they're relating back to what we're talking about, I think.
Yeah.
Like, the people who have done it and the people who are planning on doing it, maybe this is a good video for them to watch to know kind of what to expect from a beginner and someone who's a little bit more experienced, you know what I mean? And necessarily, you know, coming from someone who hasn't had necessarily a bad trip, I would think that a good amount of them can be learning experiences in their own way.
Exactly. That's what I was gonna kind of end on too, is the fact of, even though like you will at some point, if you're going to be taking psychedelics or getting into the fields, you know, you're gonna have a bad trip, and it's just good to think. Well, like actually, one thing that's reassuring, one of my favorite quotes by Timothy Leary, I've probably said it already by now, is whether you experience heaven or hell, remember it's your mind alone that creates it. And
Exactly.
that's good in basic reality as well, but definitely interdimensional travel. And that's good to keep in mind because, like I said, that was really, I would say like my past few trips that I've done on mushrooms were slightly darker tinged because it was like I was saying, I was getting the same message of, come on dude, you don't need the message right now, you know, and I wasn't spacing it out enough. But that one that we talked about earlier, that was my first and last real, what I would consider a bad trip. But even that, as intense as it got and as dark as it was at the worst, most intense moments, it was a learning experience. And bad trip doesn't cover it. It was a bad trip because that's what people think of.
Yeah.
It's how it's labeled, it's how you would associate it, but it was a really valuable trip.
It was a bad trip because you didn't experience like what they show in the movies when you take these drugs, like where they're having a great time partying, you know, doing 5 other drugs at the same time. But no, these can be, especially for beginners, serious substances, and you just have to know what you're getting into with that.
Exactly, and that's the thing, because even myself, you know, every other experience I'd have was just straight ecstasy and so much fun and just laughable joy. But you just need to know it can turn in an instant.
No one expects the Spanish Inquisition.
Exactly, nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. Yes.
Let's end on that.
Yeah, that's a good spot.
Remember, people, test your acid. Setting settings is the most important part. And just have a great time doing it.
And just have a good time in life anyways. Yeah.
Salutations.
Breathe good. Yeah, peace out, everybody.
Namaste.
Yeah, all that shit.
Fuck yeah.